the Lord does not want us to try to fit in another people's culture. That makes God angry. Islam is to make the Arabs strong. It's to build their community, to build up their people. Christianity was to build a culture for the so-called white man. To build up his people, to unite them through all of their problems and their difficulties and their fightings. Christianity made a wonderful world for Caucasian people. Speaking, man, y'all get that priest a hand, man. Take me to Jeremiah chapter 4 and verse 22. Like the Lord has something to say about that. The Lord does not want us to try to fit into another nation and people's culture, man. We'll take me. The Lord does not want us to try to fit in another people's culture. That makes God angry. Islam is to make the Arabs strong. It's to build their community, to build up their people. Christianity was to build a culture for the so-called white man. To build up his people, to unite them through all of their problems and their difficulties and their fightings. Christianity made a wonderful world for Caucasian people. It did. Right. Whether you're French, Dutch, Irish, from Spain, from England, from Portugal, Christianity helped unite a destructive family that was fighting each other. Right. You understand? Islam did the same thing. That's just how their family get down. It helped them take land, territory, unite their people, get a culture, establish themselves together. Buddhism did, communism did the same for the Chinese. The Buddhism, to unite their people, it helped them get off of drugs, it helped them stop fighting each other, it helped them have a culture, build an empire, get a military, have a government. Yeah, they have their problems, but every nation of people has their own identity. If you go to the Chinese man in Africa, in Nigeria, still in the resources, he is still Chinese. If you go to the Chinese man in America, there are Chinatowns all over America. If you go to China in China, they are being Chinese in China. No other race of people has forfeited or given away their culture. They don't give away their God. They don't give away their identity. They don't give away their heritage. There is only one nation of people on the entire planet that is told to get rid of their heritage and their culture because it's better if you don't be who you are. That's blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And that is a crime. 20 years of war in Afghanistan, they don't tell the Afghans to not be Muslims anymore. 20 years of war in Iraq, they don't tell the Iraqis to stop being Iraqis. You understand? They don't tell the Chinese to stop being Chinese. To stop being communists. They do business with them, and because they don't whore themselves out and throw away their gods and their forefathers and their cultures, their oppressors respect them. Don't you know the Chinese had opium from India flooded into China by the white man from Great Britain, and he separated his people to get his Chinese people off of the drugs that the British pushed on them. Don't you know Mahatma Gandhi separated his Indian people from the British who were oppressing him? He separated his people, and they didn't say he was full of hatred. Don't you know Nelson Mandela fought against apartheid because white people from Europe oppressed the South Africans? But you don't call him a hate man. You don't say he's evil for wanting a better life for his South African people. The only people that get demonized for wanting better for their people and calling out their oppressors are blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And it is because you do not respect us. It's because you don't respect our people. Our lives do not matter to you. Our babies do not matter to you. If there were 400,000 white babies being aborted in Planned Parenthood with all the infertility of the white man and woman, all the eggs and in vitro fertilizations and poor urethra and needing all of this extends in sexual health just to have sex in the bedroom, if that many Caucasians died in Planned Parenthood every year, they'd be holding those doctors on trial. They'd be sending them to the gas chamber. If that many of our oppressors' kids died the way that our children die.
Right.
But you know why they don't? Because our lives do not matter to America.
Right.
Our lives don't matter to our oppressor.
That's right.
Our lives don't matter to the Senate.
Right.
Our lives don't matter to the House. Our lives don't matter to the mayors. Right now in Detroit, they just had another hearing with federal court judges. They had another hearing, and they said that literacy, meaning the whole purpose you go to school is because you want to teach your kids an education.
Right.
You send your kids to school. They force you to send your kids to school. Otherwise, they'll come and take your children away. They say you neglected them. But in Detroit, when you send your black and Hispanic kids to school, where they don't have heat and AC, where they got mold in the pipes, mold in the ceiling leak, the paint is old, it's full of lead, they got no teachers, the judge in the court tells about your black babies, literacy is not a human right.
Right.
Literacy. You don't need to learn how to read to go to school. They got students teaching the class in Detroit.
That's right.
And Richmond schools are no better.
Right.
Norfolk schools are no better.
That's right.
Hampton schools are no better.
Right.
Baltimore schools are no better.
Right.
Atlanta and Memphis schools are no better.
Right.
New Orleans schools are no better.
Right.
Everywhere our worthless black leaders told us to integrate, we fell down.
Right.
We made black universities coming out of slavery. Less than 100 years. They call them historically black universities. And we stopped going to those historically black universities because we followed those civil rights leaders that told us we should go to the white schools.
Right.
Where they didn't want you. Where you needed the National Guard to stop them from killing you.
Right.
Where they threw gum and spit at you. Where they raped your children.
Right.
Where they abused your sons and daughters.
Right.
And they forced us to go to school with them because Martin Luther King liked to have sex with white prostitutes in the Watergate Hotel with the church's money.
Right.
The love offering money, Bataza.
Right.
The guest speaker money, Kazakia.
Right.
The building fund money, Akol.
Right.
That's
Right.
what Martin Luther King took. So he can knock down white women by the twos and by the threes.
That's right.
He must have thought he was shooting dice in there.
Right.
The one black died on all the white. You understand?
Right.
That's what our leaders sold us out for.
Right.
And what we're teaching our people is God appointed leaders for us.
Right.
God has leaders with all the solutions. Everything wrong with your sons, your daughters, your niece, your nephews, every solution to our problems, from immigration to getting a job to getting an education, all of that is in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge.
That's right.
Every single answer.